Welcome to a special edition where I get to speak to you about protective gear on your skates. So I have some of my gear here round up, and I thought I'd basically start off from the mandatory protections all the way to the more extreme gear that you could actually try out. So the first line of defense would be the helmet, of course. This will make sure that the most important part of your body, which is your head, will stay as safe as possible. I would also put knee pads here, simply because especially if you're a beginner, you will get a lot of falls on your kneecaps, and this will make sure that one of the most important parts of the body that is needed for skating will stay tip-top for as long as possible, of course. Then what do we have? We have here a very cheap set of gloves. So these are, you can find these at $1, maybe $2 at your local store. They're just some cheap bicycle gloves. So this is just in case you don't have any other option, any other skate shop or any other variant of gloves that you can choose. But if you do want to have the minimum protection, I'm pretty sure you can find this in any mall, supermarket, for $1, $2, maybe $3 at most. And they don't offer a substantial protection, but at the same time, it's better than nothing. They do have, as you can see, this padding here. Next up, we have elbow pads. So elbow pads are very important simply because they will be able to protect your elbow from scars such as that one that you can see there. I got that one trying to do a misty flip, which I failed initially, but after I put on some elbow pads, I think it was maybe the third or fourth try, I managed to actually nail the trick. So elbow pads, I must admit, I am not really that big of a user. I think in total I've used elbow pads about 5 times, but if you're a beginner, this is a must-have, if you do want to stay in shape. I'm gonna say that elbow pads will constrict some of your movement, but at the same time you will have much more protection. Okay, so now we're getting to the hardcore part of the gear. I'm gonna start off with the gloves. This is my go-to glove simply because it is reinforced on nearly all sides with extra leather. So motorcycle gloves may not be the most obvious choice, but for me, especially since I'm doing a lot of zigzagging through traffic and downhills, these really help to dampen the falls or the scuffs that I may get into. Simply because look, they have reinforcements such as this one, here on the fingers. This big one right here, it was actually some plastic mounts that I managed to completely obliterate because I hit a pole while going downhill with this part, and basically the entire thing fell off and my hand was exposed here. So I managed to reattach this using some super glue and some stitching, and adding some reinforced leather. So I can still use them now. The armor. So this I would use only if I am going through some serious downhills, because this is quite cumbersome. It is not that heavy, but it really restricts the movements that you can perform, because you have this big chest guard here. You have this belt section that comes around. The arms have a lot of protection. So if we start here, you have forearm protection, you have the elbow protection, you have the upper arm protection here. This is actually like a reinforced rubber inside, so it's very durable. And we also have here a shoulder protection, very massive plastic right here. As I said, the chest piece, the same thing for the other arm. and on the back we have a really massive back piece, yeah, which offers substantial protection. So I would usually just unzip, yeah, you can see that it has a zipper right here. I would usually unzip the back part and use it when I'm going downhill or when I'm going skiing, for example. This has actually saved me when I was doing tricks on skis multiple times, so I do use this back protection quite a lot. But as for the bulk of it, so the full armor, I would only recommend this if you're doing a lot of downhills or perhaps even motorcycling, yeah. Now you may be wondering why there's actually a motorcycle helmet here, yeah. I do have two, but this one is the lightest, yeah, that I've used. I've only used this once in a very nasty downhill, but I'm using this simply because if we're looking back at this normal helmet, yeah, that the skateboarders and skiers would use, we see that it actually lacks any sort of chin protection, yeah. So using this full face helmet, as people would call it, is mainly because if you're going really fast, this full face, this chin protection, yeah, so the fact that it is one piece will give you much more protection. This is just an extreme example. I'm not suggesting that you use a full face helmet for roller skating or skateboarding or downhills of any sort. But if you do know that you are actually passionate about downhills and you do this a lot, I would advise getting a full face helmet, a specialized one, not like this. But if you don't have any other choice and you know that this is a dangerous downhill, this is probably a better option if you're doing that, yeah. The last thing that I want to show is this is basically a downhill knee pad. As you can see, it is extremely long. It's actually longer than my arm. I would generally use this only for extreme speed, yeah, so going over 50 kilometers an hour or more, I would probably use this, yeah. This is something that I would use mostly on the motorcycle rather than the skates, but it is something that you should have if downhill is your go-to, yeah. It has very massive plastic. As you can see, it's made by 661, yeah. So this is a very good brand. This is actually a brand that BMX riders or downhill bike riders would be using on mountain trails, yeah. So if it can withstand those conditions, it will withstand whatever you're doing on roller skates, yeah. But I would only use this for downhill simply because they are very cumbersome to use when you're in the city, for example, yeah. They limit your movement very much compared to something, yeah, like these ones, yeah. So this would be a much more choice for city skating. Out of all of this, I have to be honest, yeah, if you'd ask me what I would usually use, I would say that these motorcycle gloves, they are my first choice, simply because if you're going to fall, there are most chances that you will be throwing your arms in front, yeah, or you would be using your arms in some way that you wouldn't even think about, yeah. So having good protection for your arms, for your palms, yeah, will be crucial, yeah. And for me at least, I do know that my arms are going to be in contact with the ground if I am going to go downhill or do my city skating. So gloves, this would be my first choice, and my second choice, the helmet, yeah. So the gloves coupled with the helmet, this is what I would generally use. This is my main setup. If I do plan on making some tricks, I do go and grab my knee pads, my standard knee pads, yeah. Okay guys, so I'm really glad that I got a chance to actually show you what options you could have as an inline skater or as a roller skater when it comes to protection, yeah. I think that this is something that most skaters miss out. I am seeing a lot of very good skaters that don't really wear that much protection, apart from maybe the helmet. Yeah, so the helmet, at least wear that, especially if you're starting out. Yeah, we wouldn't want to actually push our luck. I know that myself, I have actually been pushing my luck when zigzagging through traffic. Yeah, there were many situations when I wasn't wearing any sort of protection, and it could have been really bad, but I was lucky. Yeah, and I don't want to push my luck. So what I've told you so far, I hope that I will also incorporate this in the future more, because it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you could easily be caught off guard if you have such an occasion. I also have a question. What do you usually use when you're out skating? Or are you not using any sort of protection so far? Yeah, because I do know people who actually have been doing extreme stuff and haven't had any accident. Yeah, at least nothing serious. So what's your take on this? Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this, like this, share this, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. All the best and peace out.
And we're off.